Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Ask Apps. I'm your host, Joe Buck, for Selway Machine Tool. Today's episode, we're going to be going over backing up and restoring your Haas control. So what I recommend doing is performing a backup. Try to do it once a month. If you can't do it once a month, then once every other month. But what that does is it gives you a restore point so that if you do lose all your data, you can plug a USB stick in and get everything back in there and get back up and running successfully. So with that said, we'll go ahead and we'll get started. Again, the only tool you're going to need is this USB stick. All right, to get started, what we'll need to do is take our USB stick and plug it into the USB port, which is located right here on the side of your control. I can't get my camera all the way around, but basically what you're looking for is a little plastic protector. You'll unscrew that, and then you'll see your USB port. So we'll plug the USB in. And with the USB plugged in, we'll go ahead and we'll navigate over to the USB tab, and we'll park our cursor somewhere in that little table. So to start the backup, what we'll do is hit F4, and as you can see, it generates this table. Now, if you have a little bit of an older version of next-gen software on your Haas control, it'll look a little different. It's just going to list out all your options vertically. So I am running the most current version of the next-gen control, where they have actually went ahead and changed some of the graphics. So it looks a little different, but I promise you, it's all there. It's all the same. But ultimately, all we're going to do is find our backup machine option. I'll hit enter, and it brings up this little window. And I just want to make sure that all of these are checked. Again, we want to, we want to be able to back up everything and give ourselves a good restore point. So that's our, again, offsets, program settings. So one more time, just make sure this is all checked. Once that's checked, the only thing left to do is follow the on-screen instructions. We'll hit F4, and that'll begin the backup. Now, I got to tell you, this takes about 10 to 15 minutes to back up. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording, and then I'll pick it back up once we get a little bit closer towards the end to show you what it looks like. So we'll see you in just a few seconds here on the other side. All right, so we're back. It's just about done. There's 20 seconds left, and I just wanted to tune back in so you guys can see what it looks like as it's finishing up. And there you have it. So basically that window just disappears. And again, I'm still in my list program mode inside my USB file here. And right there, it created this Haas backup file with today's date on it. With that said, our machine is now backed up, and I'll go ahead and I'll pull the USB out from the side. So we've successfully backed up our machine on our USB stick. So now let's walk you through the process of restoring your machine in the unlikely event that you happen to lose all your data. So before I do anything, just to show you how this works, I want to go to my offsets page here, and I'm going to wipe out all these offsets by hitting origin, clear all work offsets, option 4. Am I sure? Yes. And there goes all my offsets. Same thing with my tool offsets. I'll hit the origin button, and I'll go ahead and clear tool offsets, option 4 again. Am I sure? Yes. So now I have no tool offsets, no work offsets. And I'm going to go to my memory here, and I'm going to blow out all these programs by selecting them and hitting the erase program. Am I sure? Yes. So now those programs are gone. I'll go to setting 163. As you can see, I have it on right now. I'll turn that off. By the way, I like to disable setting 163 because when my machine's in inch mode, I absolutely hate that 100 thou jog rate button. It freaks me out when I go to jog the machine. So I always keep that value set to on in order to disable it. So once again, really all the point here is that I've just made some changes after our restore. So I'm pretending as if I wiped out all my programs and my offsets, and one of the settings that I normally have set different from factory is now back to factory, and we'll go ahead and we'll start the restore. Okay, so now that my machine's set up as if I lost everything, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll plug our USB in, and we'll wait for that to populate. There it is there. And I'll go down to the backup file that was created earlier. And same as before, I'll hit F4. And instead of backing up the machine, obviously this time I'm going to restore the machine. So hit enter once that's highlighted. And it's telling me to hit E-stop. In case you guys don't see that message, it's right here in the middle. I always forget to do that. So E-stop and hit F4 again. Restore machine. And I want to make sure that these are all checked. Again, if they're not for whatever reason, just hit the enter button and that toggles the check mark. Once they are all selected, I'll hit F4 to start the restore. This one doesn't take quite as long. This one only takes about a minute or two, but I'm still going to go ahead and stop recording and pick it back up as it's getting closer towards the end, so you guys can get a look at what that looks like. So we'll see in just a few seconds once this is done. Again, we're just going to follow the instructions as is. The power up cycle takes a few minutes, so once again, I'll stop recording here and we'll pick it back up and we'll see on the other side. Just to give you guys a heads up, all I had to do was just go through my normal startup that you guys are already used to doing. You hit power up, everything homes out, and you get out of the startup screen. And so here we are. With that said, just to kind of show you, again, this is after we restored the machine. You can see my offsets are now back in. Those are my tool offsets. My work offsets are back in. If I go to list programs, you can see in my memory, all the programs that we took out before are back. And then finally, if I go to settings and I go to setting 163, you can see that's on, whereas before we put it, we set it to off. So once again, this just shows that after we restore the machine, we got back all of our tool offsets, work offsets, programs, and settings have been restored back to that restore point. Okay, so that's it for today's episode of Ask Apps, backing up and restoring your Haas control. If you guys liked the video, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up below. Also, if you guys have any questions or comments, or if you guys have any suggestions on future videos, we'd love to hear from you guys. Please drop that in the comment section below. Thanks again for tuning in. See you next time.